Thank you all so much for being here. Again, congratulations on your nominations. This is an audience of your fellow SAG-AFTRA actors, so I actually really love to go back to the beginning and just sort of ask for each of you, was there like a light bulb moment where you knew you wanted to be an actor? Was it something that you were born always wanting to do? Or, Bella, for you?
Well, I was the angel in the nativity in my school show year after year after year. I never progressed to Mary or even a shepherd. But I loved that and did local theatre since I was really young, but never where I'm from like a from Leicestershire, which is just a random like county in England, and no one's you don't acting isn't like a job there, so I never knew that you could actually be like an actor as a job. Obviously, I watched people on the TV and stuff, but I never like made the connection. And then there was this group in Nottingham called the Television Workshop that I auditioned for just as like another thing to do. I was the annoying kid that like did everything, all of the like after school clubs and stuff, and ended up getting into that the second time around. And they then casting directors and stuff know about these kids at this workshop and started getting auditions and stuff from there. So I never had the dream of like being an actor because it wasn't even a dream that I knew you could have, I suppose. And so I sort of fell into it by accident through this group. And then I remember my first time on set. It was the first time that I ever felt like I like really belonged anywhere. So then from then I wanted to do it forever. But I had the privilege of doing it I never did it because I needed to work. Like it was always for the enjoyment of it. I think 'cause I started so young. I was 11 when I got my first job. So, and that sort of continued, thankfully. It's like it's still something that's just for the love of it.
Was it Game of Thrones, your first thing?
It was, yeah.
Wow.
What a great first
Right
role.
out of the gate. That's amazing.
That
Yeah.
was an incredible performance.
Oh, thank you. I think it was good because I wasn't intimidated by it at all because I didn't
Yeah.
have the expectation of like, I'm going to be an actor. I didn't have any of that. So I was just loving it all.
Did you know the show?
I'd heard of it, but I was too young. I didn't really know.
Yeah, I wouldn't have let you watch it.
God, that's great.
You're
Yeah.
still too young to watch it, I think.
Yeah, almost.
Bella, coming into season 2 of The Last of Us, and by the way, unless anyone's been living under a rock, I assume I don't need to give a spoiler warning, but there were so much of the first season was about the chemistry with your co-star Pedro Pascal. Was it sort of hard to continue on without him after that?
Yeah, it was actually. It's practically like harder. I think it's the first season was so joyful in the experience of making because you're sharing everything with this other human being who's just wonderful and funny and generous with every part of him. And then season two, sort of doing the same sort of intensity of a show, if not it being more intense, and not having that consistent person that so well to like share it with was hard. Like the experience of it was more challenging. It definitely felt like more weight. Whereas before it was like a shared weight. So yeah, it was sad. I just he texted me. We were texting earlier saying how much we miss each other. So yeah, it was a different experience this time around.
I couldn't quite believe it when I saw it happen. I was like,
I
no,
know.
he's not dead.
No, you keep
It's
thinking, oh,
crazy.
surely he's like the lead character to get back up. It's that Game of Thrones thing. They kill off the like
Yeah.
Yeah.
lead characters and you think that they can't possibly do that. And yet,
And like Sopranos, there's an amazing history of, very confident TV, just killing off characters that you think could never be replaced. And
yeah,
one, it's an amazing thing.
yeah. But it was important for this season. I remember the conversations happening about like when I was sort of sat in the writers' room for a bit of season 2 just to observe, and there was conversations about when it should happen, and hearing them, Craig and Neil, the writers, talk about it needs to happen as soon as possible because it's the catalyst for like the rest of the story. Sort of made sense to me. I'm like, surely you can't do it in the second episode, but they're right. It is. It's the catalyst for the continuation of the story. So yeah.
And I've talked to Craig and Neil about this, and they've apologized profusely.
Yeah, good.
But did you know going into like even season one? Because the game, this is how it plays out. But at the same time, things change. There's an episode in season one that was hugely acclaimed. That's a huge departure from the game.
Yeah, no, I did know from the get-go that this was going to be a thing. And I think that was also, I had so much anticipation. Like the whole of season one, I'd sometimes like think about it during the most tender, beautiful moments with Pedro. I'd be like, well, this is gonna all end at some point. So yeah, I think I was very aware from the beginning, and actually reading the script for that second episode of season two, I like knew what was coming the whole time reading the script, and like I cried at the end. I've never shed any tears reading any scripts before, but this one broke me a little bit. And then the actual filming of it was just this like super intense day of just, yeah, we just did it all in one day. And seeing Caitlin Dever's performance in that episode as well, she was so terrifying. And seeing Pedro just beaten up there on the ground was, yeah, pretty awful, but hopefully impactful.
There's this synchronicity that maybe you guys can speak to when you have a relationship with a character on screen and it sort of parallels the relationship that you have as an actor with that person off screen. And you're like, oh, I'm going to miss Pedro. I'm going to miss the kid. But like, you're like, there's no acting that you have to do because you love this person. Now they're gone,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I was thinking in a way, it's kind of nice that you guys knew. So in season one, you knew how special your time was together and you wouldn't take it for granted, or not that you would have, but it just kind of probably made everything have more special in a way because you knew it was finite.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And then when he came back for this episode 6, the flashback episode, that especially was like, we were holding on to every moment of that because we knew this might be the last time ever that we were going to be like Joel and Ellie together.
You mentioned that he just texted you. Does Pedro Pascal use a lot of emojis?
No, barely any.
You just had to know.
Bella about the elements of nature and how it is filming your show in, all kinds of weather, all kinds of terrain.
It's interesting. I was the coldest I'd ever been in my life.
I bet. Oh my God.
This season on the horse. It was not even a particularly cold looking scene, but we were like, my body started to like curl up into a ball, like on the horse in between takes. It was like an instinct where I'd like make myself small to conserve heat. Like it was crazy. And then we'd be shooting in like the middle of summer in downtown Vancouver in like jackets, like sweating and like overheating. Yeah, it's insane. We do a lot of stuff in the studio. They actually built we reshot a bit of the forest stuff, and they, to make it easier, just like built a bit of the forest in the studio, which was crazy. But we were.
Well, I've done that. I've done cold acting. I mean, I've been in a really cold place, and it's impossible because your face stops moving.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you're not supposed to be like absolutely freezing.
Yeah.
But it's a challenge, and the water stuff, like crawling out of the ocean and stuff, like we shot in the actual bit of the ocean for a little bit of that all night after I'd just had bronchitis, and so also like you're definitely battered with everything. But I mean, one of the benefits of being on a show that has some money behind it is that they're quite good at like trying to keep you warm, which is
yeah.
But it's an assault on the senses, that's for sure.
Do you guys? I find it so hard to act like I'm freezing cold when I'm not. Have you, like when you're shooting and you have a coat on and it's hot? I always have trouble like remembering like what do I do when it's cold, and it always feels so stupid. Like I never do it right. Yeah. Like what do I, like it feels so fake.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're good like that. You just keep doing this.
I mean, did you know how to ride a horse before, Bella? Or
I weirdly had way too many lessons for Game of Thrones when I was.
Of course, yeah.
I was like literally sat on the horse. That's it. But I had all these lessons, so I've like known how to ride a horse for quite a long time. But it's very different in Canada how you ride compared to like the UK with the two hands. In Canada, it's like the Western way. So yeah, but I learned jiu-jitsu for this season. Like I had to learn how to fight properly.
Oh, cool.
Which was cool. which was really
don't mess with them.
yeah.
Riding a horse is not easy if you don't know how. Like, it's hard, right?
Yeah,
It's also funny that it's something that everyone puts on their CVs, you know? Like,
I know.
horse riding, French, sword.
I put horse riding on mine, and I had no idea.
Have you ever called on it?
I did, yeah, I had a role, and I got it, and they started giving me lessons, and it was so way harder than I thought it was going to be. And then after one lesson, thankfully the sequence was cut, so I didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
It was going to take months for me to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
I honestly thought that you said fighting a horse is not as easy as it looks.
Well, it isn't.
That too.
I was like, I missed that. I missed that on.
Well, again, thank you all so much for being here. Congratulations on wonderful shows and beautiful performances. I just want to thank you so much for taking your time to talk to your fellow actors. Thank you all so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks, Janelle.
having us.
Congrats,
Thanks, everybody.